Greetings all, welcome to part 2 of my fake hand project. In part 1 I ran you through the steps on how to make the wire frame part of the hand. Now on step 2 part 2 here, not step 2 part 2, I wanted to show you how to go through and flesh them out a little bit. And I know it's still in its raw form, but you know, part 2 is going to show you how to do this part here. So if you're not interested in seeing how to put this together, you can just stop right now. Or if you like to look at my pretty face some more, you can just keep on watching. We'll fan ourselves here. Anyway, part 2 will be showing you how to flesh them out. So sit back, relax, and let's start rotting away. For this step in the hand building process, it's fairly easy, fairly simple. You're only going to need 4 items. 1, your wireframe hand. 2, a pair of scissors. 3, a roll of tape. And 4, newspaper. So that's all you're going to need to do this part of the hand building. Your first step, take your handy dandy scissors and take your newspaper. And you want to open it up. What you want is you want pieces about that width, a half a page. Okay, I call this a half page. The big sheet's a full page. Okay, you want your pieces half page width. So just simply take your newspaper and cut it down the middle. See? Simple and easy. Now, after you got all your newspaper cut, you're going to need 7 sheets all together to do one hand. And it's basically real simple. Just take your newspaper and start rolling it into a nice tube. You don't want real tight. Make sure it's a nice loose roll, about an inch across. About like that. You know, it doesn't have to be totally neat. After you get your roll here and kind of squeeze it and crink it a little bit, you know, so it's kind of beat up and battered. Now it's just basically simply sitting here rolling out 6 more. You need 7 total for the hand. So I'm going to get that done now, and then I will be right back with you. We'll go on to show you how things are done. Okay, I'm back. By now, you should have 7 rolls of newspaper. That is going to be your flesh for the metal hand. And it's real simple and easy to do. Take your first piece, and you want to start, we're going to do the 4 fingers first, then the palm, and the thumb will be last. Take your first roll, start with the finger, and put the base of the roll just past where the finger joins the palm of the hand. And then bend the paper over it. Once you do that, you might want to scrunch the sides a little bit of the newspaper. Then simply take some masking tape and starting anywhere on the finger, but I prefer to start at the base. Attach your masking tape and just simply wrap it around. Make sure you pull it tight. You want to make sure that the newspaper and the tape are pinching the finger. Okay, now you're going to notice, you flip it over, you got a lot of excess here. Go ahead and nip that off just slightly below where the finger attaches to the palm. And you end up with that. Now we're going to repeat the same process for the other 3 fingers. Real simple, real easy. Now, one thing I do as I'm doing this is I'll take my scissors, and like you'll notice here on the tip of the finger, it's kind of pointy. I want it more rounded off, so I'll take the scissors and very carefully trim that off to give it so it's not so pointy. And I'll do that with each of the fingers as I do them, if they need it. Sometimes the paper will get a better shape on it. Pinky needs a little bit too. Okay. Make sure as you do each finger that you cut off this excess. You do not want this excess. It will interfere when you go to do the palm. And as far as the amount of tape that you put on the fingers, that is totally up to you. I think myself, I'm going to try leaving it. I'm going to use as little as possible. You know, I want just enough to make sure it stays secure to the wire frame. Did want to add one little correction. Originally I said you were going to need 7 rolls. You're actually going to need 9 rolls of paper to do the hand. So, my apologies. I was not paying attention and miscounted. Okay, guys. Now, we're not, like I said, we're doing the thumb on the hand last. Our next step is to do the palm. And the palm is done basically the same way the fingers are, with a slight difference. You need to be careful when you're putting your tape on here. Use 2 pieces of tape per roll to start with. You don't want an excessive amount of tape built up on the palm of the hand. Basically, let's see. Take your roll of paper and just slightly overlap it on the finger here, and just fold it around the other way across the butt of the hand. And then you'll want to put a piece of tape across this end and across this end, basically just to hold it into place until you get the rest of the paper on. And you'll do that for each piece. There'll be 4 pieces of paper on the palm of the hand. Okay, there's 2 pieces of tape, and the first piece is on the palm. Just sit here and just keep repeating the process. After you make sure you've done your trim. Okay, as you proceed across the palm, like I said, with each piece, you only use 2 pieces of tape. But I'm going to be putting this tape, starting it here, just like I would for any normal piece, but it's impossible to wrap just that piece. So you're going to take your tape and run it over the same spot as you did the last section that you did. Now, as you're doing the palm, make sure as you fold it over the butt end that you pull it as tight as possible against the wire mesh. You don't want it sticking out too much, because those are also your mounting brackets and you want all the extra you can get. Okay, after you get your 4 pieces on your palm, it should look similar to that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the masking tape and we're going to put on a little bit more masking tape on here, and I'm going to leave the tape attached to the roll. At least to start. There we go. One thing of wrap. And I'm going to do another one at the base to kind of help lock it into place. Okay. Wrap the palm a little bit more with masking tape. And that's what you got. Still have the thumb to do. That's your last step. Now with the thumb, when you go add newspaper to it, make sure you overlap onto the palm. And you just follow the same step like you did for the palm and the fingers. Place, tuck, and tape. Okay, once you get it taped on the thumb, up here on the thumb part itself, take some more masking tape and do another band around the palm and overlapping it onto the thumb piece. That helps anchor the thumb a little bit better. And there you go. There's your fleshed out hand. Now at this point, you've got several things that you can do, or a couple different options. One, you can just go ahead and give it a light coat of paint, you know, and do whatever detail work you want to do on it. You know, and leave it like that. Or if you're building a prop, like a scarecrow, for example, that you're going to have gloves on, and you want to beef out the gloves a bit, you could make up one of these and then put the glove over it, and this would allow you to bend the fingers of the glove and have them stay put, which is a good thing. In which case, you really don't need to do anything else to it. I mean, if the newspaper gets wet and the tape gets wet and falls apart and falls off, you just have to put more onto it. Or you could give it a blast of some clear coat, polyurethane, to help protect it, to seal it. And in which case, if you're going to do that, you're pretty much done. Okay. I am going to do a part 3 of the of this. I've got another hand treatment. I'm going to give these things a little bit more detail for my purposes, and there's several different methods you can use with that. You can either use what Josh over at Halloweenville calls monster clay, and there's several different recipes up. I have two-part recipe up on my channel. Josh has several different varieties of monster clay different from mine up on his channel, and also Rich, aka Ghoulish Cop, has a different recipe. So there's 3 different recipes, and you can just cover the hand up with that and stuff too to give a little bit more texture. Or I am thinking, I went down and bought a heat gun here last week, haven't used it yet, and I was thinking about maybe detailing these out a little bit with some veinage and maybe doing some corpsing on them. I haven't really decided, but part 3 of my tutorial, I'll be doing whatever I end up deciding, whether it's monster clay or corpsing or what. So should have that out here before too long. But anyway, this is going to bring a close to part 2. Hopefully this helps. If you guys have any questions, please leave comments down below in the comment area, and I'll get back to you. Take it easy, y'all.